Hey, what's up, Spooky fam? Today we are on part 7 of the series that I started here, talking about more underrated, maybe weird, strange, just, you know, horror that people aren't talking about. I want to put different kinds of horror movies on your radar in this on this channel in general. We don't yuck anybody else's yum. We just love horror, and for the love of horror, here are 10 more strange, weird, underrated horror movies for you to put on your radar. So as this is part 7, I will leave the Letterboxd list that I created down below corresponding with this whole series. So if you've missed anything, if you maybe see a new movie you want to add to your watch list, that is always linked down below. Let's begin at number 10 with an 18th century period piece from 2008 called I Sell the Dead. A grave robber reflects on his life of crime, and this one stars Larry Fessenden, Dominic Monaghan, Ron Perlman, and our beloved Angus Scrimm from Phantasm. I am a huge Larry Fessenden fan, so anytime that I can recommend something he's in, I will. At number 9, we have a recent film called The Creeping from 2022. A woman battles a malevolent presence when she returns home to take care of her ailing grandmother. And as far as I'm aware, this should be free on Tubi. And this is more of like, I kind of want to throw this in the hagsploitation genre. But anyways, moving on to Wicked City from 1987. A peace treaty has been in effect for hundreds of years to prevent a war between Earth and the Black World. Though it is set to be renewed, evil forces want to make sure it doesn't happen. And this one is also free on Tubi. And while the one I am recommending is the kind of anime version, there is a live action version of Wicked City from 1992 as well. Alright, moving on to Death Spa from 1988. Gruesome deaths begin to occur at a hip Los Angeles health club, and I am recommending this because of the Joe Bob. There was an episode of The Last Drive-In a few weeks ago that featured Death Spa, and I didn't realize how good this movie was going to be. While it is very 80s cheese, that's what I'm here for. As soon as Joe Bob said 18 breasts, I was in. And number 6 is a movie called The Ordeal from 2004. A traveling entertainer is on his way home for Christmas when his van breaks down in the middle of a remote town with some strange inhabitants. And this one also goes by a French name, CALVAIRE. CALVAIRE, like, I am very terrible at pronouncing things, but I just want to make a note that it is part of the New French Extremity movement. So if you've maybe missed this film, it is kind of lumped in with the, like, perhaps Martyrs, High Tension, Inside, all of those, you know, we love. Alright, speaking of loving 80s films, this next film is, I'm hoping, one that you'll put on your watch list if you're into 80s films. Anthropophagus from 1980. A group of friends and a hitchhiker become stranded on a tourist island where they're stalked by a cannibalistic killer who is prowling the island after killing its residents. And speaking of Joe Bob, this is when he was reviewing films for the Dallas Times Herald. He was like doing written reviews. This is the first movie that he reviewed for that. And I just kind of wanted to tie it up with Joe. I just love Joe Bob and the Last Drive-In so much. If you guys can probably tell, but there's like, so if you guys look into Anthropophagus, there's so many, like there was Anthropophagus 2 that came out a couple of years ago. Like there's just, it's so much fuckery. Okay, we're almost done here. Moving on to number 4, and a film called Kandisha from 2020. Learning of an ancient Moroccan legend, 3 friends summon a powerful female entity with an insatiable thirst for revenge. And speaking of Inside, this film comes from the directors of Inside from 2007. Also, The Deep House, which I absolutely hated. They also directed Livid from 2011, which if you've seen Annabelle, go back and watch Livid. I recommended it. I feel like you guys are gonna be more satisfied if you didn't like Annabelle. Why am I calling it Annabelle? Abigail. If you guys didn't like Abigail, like I didn't really vibe with it, go back and watch Livid from 2011. I feel like you might like it a little more. But anyways, moving on to Skull the Mask from 2020. The story of an ancient mask that possesses the human form to commit visceral sacrifices of vengeance for the incarnation of its god. And this is a Portuguese language film, and it possibly is in the grouping of gore that maybe with headless, not like, I don't want to say like sexual violence, but definitely like gore. Like if you want like gore, like Terrifier 2, stuff like that, like gore, check out Skull the Mask. Alright, moving on to Unwelcome from 2022. A married couple escape to rural Ireland only to discover murderous goblins lurking around their new garden. And this is a film I definitely skipped because I did not, like, there was so many films that came out a little unseen, unheard, Unwelcome. Like I kind of lumped it in, but I am working on a video, and this may be a little bit of a hint to what the theme is, but little goblins is something I enjoy. And moving on to a movie that I absolutely loved and would highly recommend, Low Lives from this year, 2024. The survival instinct of a road-tripping family are put to the test when they have no other choice but to stay the night at a remote homestead. And this is a Tubi original. Do not sleep on a Tubi original, okay? This film absolutely rips. Okay, I don't want to like spoil anything for you guys, but there is a specific quote that lives rent-free in my head about eating a certain body part. It was so good. It's so surprising. You think that it's like, stay with it. You might want to turn it off in the first like 15 minutes, but honestly stay with it, because it twists into something that is so exciting and fun, and just really, like, it is a really good late night watch. Of any of these films, I would highly recommend checking out Low Lives, specifically because it is like free, but it is also like really good. Alright, anyways, that was 10 more strange, weird, underrated, I don't know, whatever you want to call this series, films. I just want to put different kinds of horror on your radar, because horror is such a fun umbrella, and so many things can exist in the horror genre, and I'm just so excited to be diving into more of that with you guys. So if you enjoyed, let me know down below. Let me know if you've seen any of these films, and I will see you guys very soon. Sayonara, spooky fam.